Did you know that back in 1946, Aston Villa somehow squeezed around 78,000 fans into Villa Park, despite its current seating capacity being just 43,000? Now there's good news for Villa fans. The club has announced plans to expand the stadium to around 50,000 seats. And the surprising part, they're doing it without knocking down a single stand. So, how exactly are they going to pull this off? How much is it going to cost? And who's footing the bill? Stay tuned to find out. Why the North Stand needs a new makeover. Villa Park has been the beating heart of the Aston Villa Football Club since 1897. It's steeped in football history, from its days hosting international matches in the '66 World Cup to the unforgettable FA Cup semi-finals that shook the foundation of the Holt End. But not every corner of this legendary ground has aged like fine wine. While the Trinity Road Stand stands tall with its modern design, and the Holt End roars as one of English football's most iconic stands, the North Stand tells a bit of a different story. Built in the early 1970s, the North Stand was never designed to be a showpiece. At just over 5,000 seats, it's the smallest and most outdated of the four stands. Back then, it was just a functional solution to growing crowds, but fast forward 50 years, and it feels a bit out of place. Cramped concourses, dated facilities, and lack of accessibility stand in stark contrast to the rest of the stadium. For many, especially those with mobility challenges, the North Stand experience is far from ideal. As the club continues its upward trajectory, pushing for European football and now officially confirmed as a host venue for UEFA Euro 2028, the pressure to modernize has intensified. UEFA has strict requirements for facilities, safety, media areas, and accessibility. The North Stand, in its current form, falls short of these standards. That's a problem when you're on the international stage. Villa can't afford to have its stadium looking half modern and half forgotten. But it's not just about meeting the rules and regs, there's a broader ambition at play. Aston Villa's ownership group, led by billionaires Nassef Sawiris and Wes Edens, have a clear vision: make Villa Park a world-class venue. That means maximizing every square meter. Right now, the North Stand is underperforming in every sense. It offers fewer hospitality suites, fewer premium experiences, and less revenue potential than its counterparts. The matchday income from that section is significantly lower, and in today's game, where financial fair play and commercial revenue are crucial, that's a missed opportunity. Then there's the fan experience. Over the last decade, football stadiums have evolved beyond just hosting matches. They've become destinations. Places where fans come for hours before kickoff and stay long after the final whistle. Think of Tottenham's new stadium or even Anfield's phased redevelopment. These are venues that blend history and modernity, and Villa Park wants to be part of that conversation. But the North Stand, with its 70s infrastructure and limited offerings, is holding the club back. The need for expansion also ties into the growing popularity of the club. Since Unai Emery's arrival, Villa has played some of its best football in years. They reached the 2025 UEFA Champions League quarterfinals, only to narrowly lose out against finalist Paris Saint-Germain. In fact, scoring a win over the almighty Paris side at Villa Park showed the world that Villa, who are former winners themselves, mean business. Without a single doubt, there is a new energy around the team. They believe they can do better, be better, and rub shoulders with some of the biggest football clubs in Europe. And what better way to do it than upgrading Villa Park and making it a venue where their fans and visiting teams can admire. And as you would expect, more fans want to be part of the action. Season ticket demand is at an all-time high, and waiting lists continue to grow. That means that expanding the North Stand to add another 7,000 feet is not just logical, it's necessary. More fans in the stadium mean a louder, more electric atmosphere. It also means more ticket revenue, merchandise sales, and food and beverage income. In short, the North Stand isn't just due for a facelift. It's standing in the way of Aston Villa's future. By redeveloping it, the club isn't just adding seats, it's investing in its legacy, its community, and its potential to compete with the Premier League's elite. Villa Park has always been special, and now it's got the chance to be spectacular. What extras are in store for Villa Park? So, what exactly is coming to Villa Park with this massive redevelopment? A lot more than just concrete and seats. The centerpiece, of course, is the brand new North Stand. Once finished, it will more than double in size, expanding from 5 to over 12,000 seats. This isn't just a bolt-on extension either. The entire structure is being reimagined from the ground up to deliver a Premier League experience that matches Aston Villa's ambitions. But not just in the Premier League, but Europe as a whole. For starters, the new stand will offer an improved view of the pitch, better sightlines, and more legroom. Gone are the tight, uncomfortable rows that fans have endured for decades, and instead you can expect a more immersive and enjoyable experience, whether general seating or upgraded hospitality suites. Speaking of which, hospitality is a major focus. The new stand will include state-of-the-art lounges, private boxes, and premium club seating that rivals the best in the league. These facilities not only enhance the fan experience, but also generate crucial revenue for the club. But the upgrades don't stop at the matchday experience. One of the most talked about additions is the Warehouse, a massive beer hall and entertainment space that'll be the largest of its kind in the Premier League. With seating for 3,500 people, it's designed to be a magnet for fans before and after matches, as well as a go-to venue for events throughout the year. Think live music, boxing, comedy nights, and more. It's about turning Villa Park into a destination that's busy 365 days a year, not just on game day. Right next to the Warehouse, the club is also building a 2-story mega store. This will be more than just a place to buy shirts and scarves. The new club shop will include interactive displays, historical exhibits, and digital experiences that let fans dive deeper into Villa's proud heritage. For kids and first-time visitors, it'll be a chance to fall in love with the club. For lifelong supporters, it's a tribute to everything Villa represents. Beyond the stadium walls, Aston Villa's thinking big. The redevelopment includes a brand new public plaza that will redefine the matchday atmosphere. Picture wide-open spaces with outdoor screens, live performers, and street food vendors serving everything from bratwurst to jerk chicken. It's about creating a festival vibe that starts the moment fans step off the train. The plaza is designed to welcome both home and away fans, building a sense of community and shared excitement. This is no longer just about football, it's about culture. And speaking of transportation, the redevelopment also acknowledges one of Villa Park's longest-running headaches. We're talking matchday congestion. With over 50,000 fans expected in the future, the club is coordinating with local authorities to upgrade infrastructure around Whitton Station and improve pedestrian routes. The new plan aims to make arriving and leaving the stadium smoother, safer, and more efficient. Importantly, sustainability is a key pillar of the redevelopment. The new North Stand will be built using environmentally friendly materials, feature improved insulation and energy-efficient lighting, and prioritize waste reduction. Villa's ownership wants this project to be a model for how modern stadiums can be both spectacular and sustainable. All of this combines to create more than just an upgraded stadium. The new North Stand and its surrounding features are designed to breathe new life into the area. By anchoring itself as a cultural, economic, and sporting landmark, Villa Park is positioning itself as one of the most modern and multifunctional venues in England. For fans and for the city of Birmingham and English football as a whole, the new Villa Park promises to be game-changing. The price tag and who's buying. So, how much does it cost to turn an old-school football cathedral into a 21st century mega arena? Brace yourself, because what I'm about to tell you may come as a surprise. The North Stand renovation at Villa Park will cost roughly 100 million quid. Yeah, that's the ballpark figure Aston Villa has put down for the first phase of the Villa Park redevelopment. And no, this isn't one of those we'll pay for it later schemes that rely on borrowed money or council handouts. The owners are going full throttle with their own cash. No loans, no debt, no funny business. The bill's being footed by Aston Villa's billionaire ownership duo, Nassif Sawiris and Wes Edens. But hey, these aren't just rich guys playing football manager in real life. Sawiris is Egypt's richest guy, a net worth of 6 billion euros. Yes, you heard that right, billion. Edens is an American private equity guru and also co-owns the Milwaukee Bucks basketball team, and he brings another multi-billion-dollar wallet to the table. Between the two, Villa are backed by owners who have the cheddar and the mindset to think big and act bold. And make no mistake, it's not just about brick seats and beer halls. This is about reputation, revenue, and resurgence. When Sawiris and Edens took the club over in 2018, Villa were floundering in the championship, with financial problems piling up like Monday morning laundry. Fast forward to today, and the club is knocking on the door of Champions League football, building the biggest fan zone in the league and prepping to host games for Euro 2028. That kind of leap takes serious ambition and serious cash. So what exactly does £100 million get you? For starters, a brand new North Stand that's going to more than double in size. Not just a concrete box with plastic seats, a fully modern structure with expanded concourses, premium hospitality lounges, panoramic glass fronts, and integrated media spaces. And that's just one part of the spend. Because as said before, another big chunk of the money is going to the Warehouse, a 3,500-seat venue being built as the Premier League's biggest beer hall. And this place isn't just serving pints on game day. We're talking concerts, boxing nights, esports tournaments, and everything in between. On top of that, the project includes a 2-story megastore, new food courts, digital screens, upgraded restrooms, and modern security systems. There's also a whole new plaza development being planned for the area outside the North Stand, filled with street vendors, family-friendly activities, and spaces for fans to hang out before and after games. Think of it like a football festival that never really ends. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While 100 million euros may sound like a massive price tag, the return on investment is just as eye-popping. According to reports commissioned by the club and reviewed by the local council, the expanded stadium is expected to pump in £120 million annually into the West Midlands economy. Let that sink in. Not just a win for Villa now, it's a big win for Birmingham and the surrounding areas. That money comes from hotels, transport, food vendors, merchandising, and non-football events. More people visiting Villa Park means more money gets spent in the city. It's expected to bring in 1 million visitors a year, many of whom otherwise wouldn't be headed to Aston. That includes both local fans and tourists, especially with Euro 2028 coming up. Birmingham wants to shine on the European stage, and Villa Park's transformation is crucial to that plan. And then there's job creation. We're talking 1,750 new full-time and part-time jobs getting supported every year, ranging from construction workers and retail staff to hospitality crews and event managers. That's not even counting the hundreds of temporary roles during the actual building phase. The club also pledged to work with local businesses and apprentices to make sure the economic benefits actually stay in the community. It's not just about money pouring in, it's about keeping it local. Now, let's talk politics. Projects of this size often need some degree of public support, and Villa's ownership has been proactive on that front too. They've worked closely with Birmingham City Council, the West Midlands Combined Authority, and even the UK government's Levelling Up Fund to align the project with broader regional development plans. In fact, the club initially applied for a slice of the Levelling Up funding, though it ultimately decided to proceed without it when approval got tied up in red tape. That decision only reinforced one thing. Sawiris and Edens aren't waiting around for handouts. They're spending big now, betting on long-term growth, and they're not just investing in Villa Park. They've also invested heavily in Bodymore Health, the club's training ground, turning it one of the best in Europe. All this ties back to the same philosophy: build for the future, dominate the present. For fans, that means more seats, better views, shorter queues, and better vibes. For the club, it means higher matchday revenue, more commercial partnerships, and a stadium worthy of modern European competition. And for the city of Birmingham, it's a legacy project that will bring jobs, culture, and visibility long after the final whistle blows. In short, the £100 million price tag isn't just a number, it's a statement of intent. Aston Villa aren't just trying to catch up with the big boys. They're going to become one of them, and thanks to their ownership group's financial muscle and strategic vision, they're building a stadium and a future that's fit for exactly that. Benefits for the club and fans. For Aston Villa supporters, the Villa Park expansion project isn't just a construction job. It is a massive upgrade to the entire matchday experience. The new North Stand, which will add over 7,000 more seats, means more fans can actually get through the gates. Season ticket waiting lists have grown rapidly in recent years, with over 25,000 fans reportedly queued up as of last year. Doubling the size of the North Stand not only opens up more seats, but also offers improved sightlines and upgraded facilities, giving longtime fans and newcomers a better way to watch. And then there's the Warehouse, a 3,500 capacity entertainment venue that's set to change what it means to go to a football match. Imagine getting a pint and watching live music or a boxing match before kickoff, then hanging out for post-match analysis with all your friends under the same roof. The Warehouse is planned to be the largest of its kind in the Premier League, helping turn a typical Saturday to an all-day event. That means more to do, more to eat, more to cheer about even when the final whistle blows. Outside the stadium, the proposed plaza area will be a magnet for fans. With food trucks, merchandise stalls, local performers, and interactive exhibits, this pedestrian-friendly space turns the approach to the stadium into a full-blown event. Villa Park is no longer just where the football happens, it's where the community gathers. Hospitality areas are also getting a facelift. Corporate boxes and premium lounges are getting redesigned to attract more business clientele, which in turn drives up revenue. These improvements help the club stay competitive, especially when financial fair play regulations are breathing down the necks of the clubs that are trying to spend big. With better commercial offerings, Villa can keep up with clubs that have historically had bigger bank accounts. The added revenue potential is massive. More seats mean more ticket sales at bigger events in the Warehouse, mean additional income streams. Enhanced hospitality and retail offerings bring in more high-spending visitors. That all adds up to a healthier balance sheet, which means more cash to invest in players, youth development, and facilities. With European competitions now back on the horizon for Villa, having a top-tier stadium helps in both negotiations for sponsorship deals and getting top talent. Even training facilities will benefit in the long term. The financial ripple effect from expanded matchday earnings will help fund upgrades to Body More Health, the club's training room. Better facilities attract better players and staff, helping raise the overall quality of the squad. And let's not forget the psychological edge. A packed 50,000-seat stadium with world-class acoustics and state-of-the-art amenities turns Villa Park into a more intimidating place for away teams. A louder hold and more synchronized chants in a stadium that feels alive from kickoff to the last whistle, close matches in Villa's favor. For the younger generation of fans, the stadium becomes an experience, not just a venue. Interactive zones, family sections with dedicated amenities, and improved accessibility means Villa Park welcomes everyone from toddlers to lifelong supporters. In short, this expansion isn't just brick and mortar. It's about growth of the fan base, growth of the revenue, and growth of the ambition. It takes Villa Park from a historic ground to a future football-ready cathedral. Challenges and concerns. As ambitious as the Villa Park expansion is, the path to 50,000 seats is not paved with blue confetti. There are real concerns starting with transport, with the station, the main rail stop serving Villa Park, already buckles under the weight of matchday traffic. Fans often face long queues, crowded platforms, and painfully slow departures after full time. Add another 7,000 people to that chaos, and you've got a logistical nightmare happening. The club's acknowledged this problem and included transportation upgrades in its long-term vision, but progress has been sluggish. Talks with West Midlands Rail are ongoing, but infrastructure improvements need time, money, and cooperation from multiple entities. Meanwhile, Villa risks creating a better stadium that people struggle to reach. Then there's parking. Local roads are already congested on match days, and residents often find themselves boxed in or battling for street space. Without a clear plan for expanded parking or better traffic flow, more fans could mean more headaches for the neighborhood. The club is looking into partnerships for park and ride schemes and shuttle buses, but nothing concrete's been finalized yet. Accessibility is another major concern. Premier League guidelines require clubs to increase wheelchair accessibility, and Villa Park falls short right now. The revamped North Stand will address this, but meanwhile, fans with disabilities get limited options. Retrofitting accessible areas into older parts of the stadium, like the Doug Ellis Stand, is technically difficult and costly. The club needs to balance heritage preservation with modern standards, which can be a tricky tightrope to walk. And then there's the issue of construction disruption. The club has promised that the stadium capacity won't be affected during the build, but fans are skeptical. No major expansion project happens without some dust, noise, and some kind of interference. Concourses might get closed. Entry gates might be rerouted. Fan zones could be out of action. Even small inconveniences can snowball into frustration, especially if the on-pitch performance doesn't keep supporters happy. The local community has voiced concerns too. Some fear that the expansion could increase antisocial behavior and litter on match days. Others are worried about the rising property prices and gentrification, particularly if the club's broader redevelopment plans start pushing into surrounding streets. The club has held public forums and promises to work with community groups, but long-standing mistrust of big development project lingers. Environmental impact is another issue creeping into the conversation. With climate goals becoming a bigger part of public policy, large-scale construction projects are getting scrutinized more than ever. Villa said that it wants to build sustainably, but so far there's limited detail on how green the new development will be. Things like solar panels, rainwater harvesting, or carbon offsets have not yet been fully addressed. And finally, there's the emotional side. Some fans feel a certain nostalgia for the older North Stand and worry that modern upgrades might erase the character of the stadium. While the design team's working hard to preserve Villa Park's iconic look and feel, any change risks upsetting a section of the fan base that values tradition over innovation. Summing it up, Villa Park's expansion project offers a lot of potential but comes with a lot of real-world concerns too. Transport to accessibility, environmental impact to neighborhood relations, the road to a 50,000-seat stadium isn't going to be a smooth one, but if the club can adapt, listen, and deliver on their promises, the payoff could be worth every headache along the way. That being said, what do you think about Aston Villa's North Stand upgrade? Let us know in the comments below. We are committed to releasing 2 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more visionary builds.